And the Reaper heads up in towards the main. It's going to pop up over here for a little bit of a look-see as to what it might be able to get up to. The few Lings are going to be around. The Reaper is going to be taking a few shots. And the Lings are going to be able to get the Reaper out of here, I think, fairly easily, all said and done. Marine firing up on that Overlord, so some damage done there. The Reaper continues to come about. Got that hatch still building through there. The additional drones coming up. The Overlord, the Queen continuing by as well. CC and the Orbital coming up. And SCV on the way out also. As we do get the extra barracks in, the third CC is already kind of taking locations, so I'd say Battleby is not looking to do anything too crazy, but we'll play 3CC, and then with an extra barracks already suggests a little bit more aggressive side of that 3CC follow-up. Is going to be quite biocentric for the initial stages, which is obviously a nice helping hand. Some early medevacs and bio units on the map can always be such a frustration to kind of work around and to play against, so definitely things to look at there. That coming up, the road drone on the way, our extra drones building. Things will move into position. Hellions and the Reaper going to get turned around immediately. And a couple of crew teamers still coming up as well. And just have our Hellions continue to make a move. The Queen's going to set up some more creep tumors. And the Vex and the Marines still coming about. Medevacs is going to come down that right-hand side again. 1-1 upgrades. Combat shield coming through. The barracks, the tech lab continuing up as well as our roaches continue to come in. Link speed is going to start, and the carapace upgrade is already coming about as our marines drop down to the bottom. Overlord will be taking some damage and is going to go down. The roaches come across there. The Hellions get over. They're going to get for some drones, so Battleby starting to bring the pressure with the drop in one location. Hellions in the other. Hellions out alive as well, so a few of those still about. Drop now into the in-base natural, and the drones are going to pull the fight. This is the Queen goes down. A lot of drones will start to die because they never pulled away. And that's going to be 8 workers killed in total. Battleby again, good pressure, just kind of ramping it up and getting ready to play into 3 more barracks. The additional armory for upgrades as well. So is ready to kind of get into the more aggressive side of life in the near future. Hello, what's up, all? How you doing? Thank you so much for the 23-month resub. Is this why I sub to watch Liquid Clan beat up Lamrimbo? Yep, that's what we're going to have going on later on today. So the resub mate, appreciate the 23 months. Thank you. Defensively, we're actually going to have a pretty okay defense against these roaches. They got a few SCVs, but the Marines and the tank make easy work of it at the end of it all, so it doesn't go on forever. One final Hellion still moving about and it's going to try and move back over. So see a few Marines coming forward. Gonna go after a couple of those creep teamers as well. Just gonna try and find something a little extra here. As best we can right now. A little quick corrosive valve coming down. The medevac's gonna be long gone from there. Look at that Roach Ravager joining up in the center. The Lings come together too. So look at that Roach Ravager on a little bit of a move around for the moment. We're going to see a big push in from Wayne. As we actually in the end have Terran players trying to make a fourth base here, so it's not Battlebee that's being the aggressor, but Wayne instead with 52 drones. He comes through. Last time around, Battlebee was in a good position to defend the Roach Ravager. This time, feels like he's getting caught a little bit off guard. As our bio will continue to trade, those Roaches and Ravagers continue to come on through, and it looks as though Wayne might just have enough this time to do significant damage. Corrosive Valve's dropping, some Medivacs dying. We do get a tank on the high ground, the bio on the left side able to close the gap on the Ravagers specifically, which is really nice. Any Ravager is obviously a big cost, and that might be where Battlebee is able to hold on. He did lose his fourth base that was building during this, if I'm not mistaken, and that's obviously a big deal as well. Losing out on your potential fourth base is a big, big deal. The Bio gonna go chasing. Yeah, the Bio still moving around a little bit. We're just going to be seeing if I was once again going to get in position, and this time Wayne, he's not broken through well enough, and it does seem as though Wayne's going to be running out of options on this aggressive Roach Ravager, just not getting enough done with it. Putting himself in trouble. Fire still moving over. Roach Ravager lane going the other way. Having ourselves the Bioforce chasing down that Roach Ravager again. Hydra Den still coming up. The Viper on the way through as well. I'm just going to be seeing a couple of corrosive valves coming in towards the Bioforce. The thing is, Battlebee is pushing himself in towards that forward base, so he's going to take a fourth and be extremely well set up, built around that as well. So this does feel like Battlebee is succeeding in kind of a similar game, I guess. In the end, it felt as though Wayne was going to have a better time with that Roach Ravager. It wasn't as cleanly held onto as it was in game 1 by Battlebee, but just obviously becoming a little bit too much here as our Roach Ravager gathers up. Fire will chase, Roach Ravager getting hunted down. Pushed out of here for the moment. Now going to try and turn back onto this. The Ling is going to go after some of the bio as well. Once more, army spreads a little bit as our Roach Ravager Infested Force comes through. A Fungal Growth is going to land on a couple of those Marauders already. As a Viper abducted, a siege tank gets brought in immediately. Another corrosive what's it called? Parasitic Bomb on the medevac guy is going through all of the names of spells, and I just couldn't find the one I wanted. Yeah, Parasitic Bomb still coming up. So Wayne's just trying to find value with those Vipers, and obviously just abducts. parasitic bombs, obviously combine them with some vials here and there, just trying to find little edges, little bits that can go well for you. Put the leads, load sieging at the top, and missile corrosive vials to get rid of the missile turrets there as well. Scanning up on the high ground. Bio wants to come back up. The Ghost would like to come back through as well. With the chance to unload, our Roach Ravager still there. Clearing up a little bit. The couple Queens are going to be firing. Medevac's taking a lot of shots. The Hydras as well. Hydra's still chasing up that left-hand side. Lurk is coming in. Our Lings and some Overseers producing as well. Ravager army definitely looking better than it has done for a little while. It definitely felt as though we were kind of running into trouble as Wayne, but I think some of the efficiencies found recently has been great. However, they're still playing against a very defensive Terran who is very well set up on his bases. Is not really going to be moved anywhere anytime soon, and this is a problem you've still got to overcome kind of on your own. As Wayne, because as this game develops, it's just going to likely get better and better and better on the side of Battle B, actually. These later game kind of drawn out games where the Terran gets to camp up on 4 to 5 bases really do generally trend the Terran's direction. Requires a lot of technical switching on the side of the Zerg, mixing up your army, finding the time to kind of move into that one surge of Broodlords you oftentimes have in a game of ZVT. And obviously just trying to find efficient and effective trades throughout all of that as well. While all of that is going on, there's a whole dance to be made as well. And we are going to see army coming up the right-hand side. Tanks going to get some shots off and push that back very comfortably. Oh, that's a fungal growth and a half, isn't it? Going straight down on that Bioforce. The Ghost going to get pushed further back. Medevac is going to go pulling away. Ghost will change and turn and hit the changelings that were coming about right there as well. So just gonna move around for that. Nice network into the main. Another way in which Wayne can try and get some damage done. He can try and draw this out. Put that in and try and find some success with it. As you do see the Liberators sieging up preemptively, and they are going to get rid of the first couple of lurkers that spawn out of it. Oh, that's actually going to turn into a very comfortable defense. Actually pretty okay for Battle B because he got a bunch of lurker kills. So that was actually fine to let the Nidus go because he did have a response. That's one of those moments where Wayne just should have never brought extra lurkers out of that Nidus. Maybe the first one pops to see the situation, he put the rest back in instantly. Trying to run them out of the way of the Liberators is just, I think, a little bit too much, you know, a little bit too kind of believing in the fact that your opponent just didn't actually have anything else ready. Well, I wonder if this is what Wayne wanted to happen when he picked Post Youth, because Post Youth does have that way of kind of trending towards some of these longer drawn out scenarios. I'd say whether that was something that Wayne was really hoping for when this game started up. I wouldn't have initially bet on it, honestly. I mean, to be fair, he did try and be very aggressive through Roach Ravager, and the problem is that Roach Ravager, if it's not going to break your opponent, you don't really have a good follow-up that then is going to break your opponent. You've just got to keep on trying the same thing, right? Up to the top, orbital commands, relocating, repositioning a little bit. Maybe seeing the first couple of Liberator shots going off there. Tank fire looking decent as well. Medevac's taking some shots in the process. We're going to come through once more. Lings taking a big beating. And that army is going to get shoved away. Few more shots just coming out and about. Look at Roach Ravager moving back over. Flame Roach setting up as well. So start diving down this round. Tanks, Planetary Fortress, all coming through, getting some shots off. Profile is going to go after those Liberators and will be able to knock down 2 of them. However, Wayne is losing a lot in the process. You hear every single snipe. That snipe sound is the sound of money disappearing from the bank account, and Wayne is going to have to replace units. So Battlebee is just going to snipe away and get so much out of this so far. Now making a more continuous push as well. We're actually building Hydras as Wayne. I thought he might go into some Corruptors as a more consistent answer to these Liberators, but that just does not seem to be part of his plan. As he runs into another fight, it's just a fight he can't take. Every fight is a fight he can't take right now is the problem. There's a lot of positions he just can't really stop this push, plain and simple is what it's coming down to. It ain't rocket science as Libs take position. Ghost gonna go sniping around. Trying to find out what they can do. The Liberator sieging up again. Ravager's gonna come on forwards here. The Overseers continuing through too. Just gonna be shooting it up. Planetary Fortress is gonna be going down. That'll be in the center of the map. He needs to keep pushing then, right? This is the moment where if the opponent's gonna counterattack you, take advantage of that, push further forwards. It is a slow push, admittedly. Maybe that was a chance to kind of get some of those leapfrogs of tanks and so on going. Just gonna see Ling's trying to run forwards, but there's just no hope. Even if you know, tanks are not the best against Zerglings, this is still a situation they can control with pretty much comfort. Wayne's already been trading badly, 33,000 to 23,000 resource lost. He's got bases, and he does have 80 drones right now, so he's got the economy to, in theory, justify that, but that's not the long-term answer. That's always a short-term, like, okay, for now, he can still mine more, but eventually, you do typically run into base issues, right? So, and that's going to absolutely be the case if you can't clean up his army soon, because the Terran is working through base after base. Lip Siege pushing down towards the bottom left still. Some more snipes coming down in, and just going to be having the few Hydras coming across. Wayne's just going to say GG. He cannot actually ever fight against this army. And so Battle B is going to go 2-0. And that's going to put Berserker back on top as well. Cameras turning off and flying and all sorts there. Man, WTL gets so many camera smashes. Well, let's see if we get more up next. It's going to be Gung Fu Banda representing the Berserker Esports squad. He's taking on Cham, who must go 2-0 to force an ace match for Starlight Twinkle. We'll see if that will happen. I'm going to take a couple here, guys. We'll be right back for Cham vs Gung Fu up next. Alrighty, guys. Cham and Gung Fu getting set to play. Gung Fu needs one map to win the series for his team. And what an important win that would be. Put Berserker 4 points clear of relegation. A handful of weeks left to play. And they actually have one of the weaker teams still left to play as well in offside. One of the other teams that's in relegation right now. So Berserker, a win here could set them towards potential just safety into another season of WTL Code S. Because again, bottom two get relegated and must re-qualify for the next season. Chat bottom left, Gung Fu upper right. As we get this one underway. I'll look to see where we're gonna go. Down, 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 down. Alright, well, that gateway goes down. The assimilator coming up. Probes are producing. Hatch, gas and pool. Going about as well. Let's just get ourselves the gateway finishing up as also here. So just going to get that on the goes. Probe heads from the upper right down to the bottom left. We do have ourselves the next Cybercore then on the way. Nothing too crazy just yet as we get settled in. A couple queens and a few lings coming up from Cham as again that's Cybercore and the Nexus continuing through as well. I mean, obviously, starting on Post Youth is already one of the kind of nice Zergy maps, so maybe a little bit of a boost for Cham. Of course, remember, when Gung Fu only needs one map, though, the second map will be his map pick, and he can choose whichever map he feels will give him the absolute best shot at victory. And that's obviously a very powerful tool to have in WTL. That's why a 2-0 is so powerful in WTL, because it means you won on your opponent's map pick, and then your opponent, or the other team, then has to have someone do that on their team to even out the series, right? So it's very difficult. You know, map picks are meant to be very powerful. And we talk about how powerful maps can be in terms of, you know, enacting balance and so on. Definitely a big deal as we have the Void Rage is going to pop out from that Stargate, go after the Overlord initially, take that down, and that's going to be our starting point for the moment. And that Void Ray is coming up. We got ourselves the Warp Gates coming through. Void Ray going to show up and start activating this Prismatic. He's going to get rid of that Overlord. One of the benefits of this, then, it's going to be difficult for Cham to really see a lot of what's going on, because the Void Ray will deny all the Overlord vision and some of the things that you'd usually just typically expect to have as the Zerg in terms of being able to figure out what's up. So some of that will be missing. But actually finds another Overlord out on the map already, so just going to take that down as well. There's a few links trying to break in towards the base. Don't think it's going to happen. Extra Adept showing up. The Adept there is going to hold its ground. And all those lings get cleaned up. Void actually gets across the map. Now again, a drone. Oracle shows up over 3 drones. And so some damage is dealt on the combination of Stargate units. Just maybe not quite how we initially expected it to be. Anyways, the Oracle succeeds. Does take some shots in the process, but backs away. Regen Shields is still fairly healthy, and it's the second Oracle that's out now as well. And it looks as though the first Oracle will just go back home and play defense, which means that its HP doesn't really matter too much. Voidray will just go fighting the hatchery, taking some damage. The depths continue through, and the Oracles will activate, and a few more drones getting picked off. And Voidray continues back up into the center. Well, Jam looking to make use of the map and take the gold base already, putting that one down and in position. Voidray coming through again. Just gonna see the Spore taking some damage. The Queen's firing. Voidray's taking hits. Revelation drops down, and obviously we're keeping track of things here, but Jam not doing anything overly aggressive early, and that means that we're going to get to see both of these start to macro a little bit, which on a map like this kind of feels as though it's going to start going on quite long if we do continue in that direction. I was going to say we are making a lot of units right now as Jam. I was just about to say maybe there is one opportunity for this to just kind of cut drones here and just send it, but he's making some more drones too, so it's not just about units, which means we are more likely to see, like I said, that kind of intention towards a macro focus. Gold base going to be the next stop from Gung Fu Bandra as well, so we'll get that online as well. I'm just going to go hitting that void, and we do see some Banelings continuing to morph in, but they're going to get caught. Good stop by Gung Fu. Stop Champ from getting in there for some harassing damage. Doing that, you put yourself in a much better position. I'm just trying to find a way around. Stalker's going to try and grab a creep tumor. More Stalkers returning back toward the gold base. Another round of Banes continue to come through. A couple creep tumors going to be coming out the front. And as we do have, with plots that continue to build and Temple Archives added on, the Army Gung Fu Band again a little bit stronger. And Roach Ravager Bane coming through. Bane's going to start making their way forward there. You see, Stalker's trying to fight the Bane, still crashing through. Big attack from Cham. If he doesn't do a lot with this, you got to kind of worry a little bit. As I mean, so far only 5 probes killed. We have had units kind of chased around everywhere, but I'd say if Gung Fu just kind of defends this now and stabilizes, he's going to be in a pretty great spot. There's still a group of Banelings, and the probes are running out of place to run on the top side. Go look at the probes top left. No, probes in the main. Oh my god. There was so few probes for so long, but in the end, we ended with 16. We're like a Baneling shy of making it 30. As Gung Fu is going to hold those, which is, like I say, the important part of this. And now be able to, oh my goodness, more Banes get in. Now 32 probes lost. Man, what a difference that makes. Final few Banelings just able to find some openings and absolutely punish for it. And Gung Fu's army is still pretty strong, but obviously the economy is going to be hurting at this point. He just have the bases up and he should be able to rebuild those pros, but it will take a little while. Couple more stalker shots coming through, your Roaches and Banes coming about as well. And Banes making their way forwards, they're going to get crushed through. The Roaches trying to make a step through as well. Another force field or two coming down. The army getting turned about, Ling's getting dropped. 14 probes dead again. I mean, Gunku's pretty much forced to just go attack, right? And to be fair, there is a world where 4 Colossus just kill anything that comes your way, and then Cham can't actually have enough army to really stay in this. There's a lot of Lings in production, but like I say, 4 Colossi can put in some serious work. First Stasis Ward goes off. Lings looking to come in from multiple angles. Like I say, it's the Colossi that have the work to do here. They cannot get blown up by Banelings. Bane's crashing into the Stalker line. Colossus still putting in the work. Stalker's playing the retreating game. The Colossus very much still staying alive, getting rid of so many Roaches. Cham is trying to surround these Colossus. One of them's getting low finally, but as we get to the high ground, I think we're still going to be okay. Colossus surviving. Oh my goodness, we keep every single Colossus alive. No, the Banelings are going to find the mineral line. A few more probes go down. Gunku has so little left, man. Honestly, very nearly enough. Just Cham is rich enough to just keep on producing through to really just afford everything he needs. Damn. I like I say, if Gunfu was a little bit rich and could actually afford the like an extra, like if he could just afford a little bit more buffer, the Colossus would have done enough there for him to absolutely turn, fight, and 100% be in this game in, you know, under pretty much any circumstances. We'll finish off a pylon over in the corner. Healing's getting cleaned out. The Zealots and the Oracle. It's going to continue around. It's going to go jumping onto that Queen. Queen will fall. And we do see the Roaches, the Banes can come about as well. Still moving around. We're just chilling out the front as we do have again a few more units warping in. Adrenal Gland plus 3 melee. All of that continuing into action for the moment. Obviously Cham, as he maxes out, might actually just be able to go back across the map. Get a few Vipers up, then the Colossus is obviously not really going to be that scary anymore. That was the only real scary part of the army in the first place. He had no real way to do anything about the Colossus, but at this point you should be able to. Roach, Ravka, Ling taking position again. Going to be difficult to imagine Gunfu winning this fight. There's going to be so much Zerg. The Viper's going to go hunting. The Colossus do very well initially, do not get me wrong. As the Abduct goes off on 1, the Banelings crash in for number 2 and 3. Colossus number 4 sitting in the background. Should never really be enough, and even if it is, Cham's going to have the money to rebuild and come at you again. I love that Gunfu Bandit came in for another counterattack. Gotta get, you know, gotta try what you can try, right? I mean, no harm done in coming across the map at this point and just giving it a shot and seeing if you have enough. Well, the benefit for Gunfu, like I said earlier, that map pick. Now that he loses map 1, he still only needs 1 map win to win this series for his team. So he will get his own map pick to try and do it on. He will get to decide the battlefield. That will be his chance to stop this from going to an ace match. An ace match win is still good for either of these teams, but obviously ace match becomes scary. As Archon's not going to be enough. We're going to pop the super battery. It's honestly enough for a Travagy here. Just do not think it matters at all. Actually going to kill it as it's only halfway done. Our Colossus does get saved. As the Colossus is in the prison, the Archons obviously can't really be saved at the same time. And again, very close to just breaking through as Gung Fu is, I think, finally on the verge of typing out GG. That's Cham. Has this one under wraps. The Void Ray, I guess, is unanswerable right now. The Void Ray defense. Sick. Cham's still rich. Cham's still winning this game. Not really much else to. I mean, is there ever a way you trade badly enough as Cham that Gung Fu can win? I guess maybe there is. Again, you know, make too many lings against these Archons, and perhaps we're already talking. And he is making a lot of lings right now, although now Bane's and Roach is on the way up as well. I mean, the problem is, it just feels though that at this point Cham doesn't even need to go. He's got so many more bases. It's Gung Fu that needs to come in towards Cham, right? Archon's going to try and fight that case, and they're going to do honestly pretty okay. It's Bane City up on the probes again. I do not feel like we need to be killing probes still. I think we can just turn our attention onto the army. As Cham, I think, is making this a little bit tougher for himself than it ever really needs to be. Gung Fu with the Archon push across the map. We'll come up against these Roaches. The Roaches should be absolutely more than enough. There's a few Zealots are going to show up, but yeah, plenty of Roaches, and this one should finally be done. It's kind of dragged on a little bit at the end, but we will get that GG's. And Cham is going to go up 1-0. Now one map away from forcing this ace match. Ooh. Some long games. Now again, our ads in the games because I can't apparently run them enough because we're just having long games back to back. Oceanborn going to be coming about for game number 2 then. The immediate pick from Gung Fu Banda, no time wasted on that one. Alright, so Oceanborn coming about. Alright, so he gets set up. Hatch. Nexus belonging to Cham and Gung Fu Banda. Oceanborn, the map pick then from Gung Fu. So this is what he feels like is his best possible chance of winning a game against Cham to win this out for Berserker Esports. Entry on the third location then. We get that settled in. Probably going to move about a little bit. A few drones coming in. That's still setting up as I gate and our simulator. Continuing to build. We're going to come across and build up that spawning pool. Nexus building. Probe actually nearly getting drilled by the drones, but it just gets out alive. And Nexus Cybercore. Probe and the assimilator still continuing to come about. Overlord heading to the upper left-hand side. Only a little bit of a journey across. Nexus, Cybercore, Probe, all coming up. Couple of queens and the feelings coming about as well. Now, I feel like there was a lot of moments that were good for Gung Fu in that last game, and maybe was just outdone a little bit by the fact that there was, a bit of gold-based income set up from Cham. Honestly, if he didn't lose the extra 20 or so workers, and I say, like, you're like, oh, well, extra 20 workers is pretty serious, but he kept so many workers alive for so long, and in the final few moments of the defense, the Banes just finally found the extra probes, and getting that extra 20 or so might have made the difference, because there was honestly a lot of close fights following that. If you have a little bit more income to be working with, a little bit more army to kind of even out things, I actually wonder if Gung Fu's counterattacks may have resulted in a victory, if the 20 probes behind it just reinforced more easily. That's going to be firing. Probe is going to come in, grabbing a link. That's going to move about still. It's going to shade a couple off over to the sides. A couple of lings getting hit. And some of them starting to go down. Chasing one of Adept 4s. We're actually already on 3 drone kills. Gonna make that 4, which is not bad at all for the first 2 Adepts. 4 drones. I feel like we kind of like that. Link speed still coming up too. We continue to bring that forwards. This is going to show up here and just going to hit the few, the Adept in the wall. Oracle will be forced to activate, and that's going to chase the Lingers off their Nexus. Building here from Gung Fu Band is very comfortable, just going for 3 bases again and then seeing what it is we're going to try and do from there. Next is about halfway done. Twilight Council will start up. The Oracle pumping as these 2 Oracles already journeying across the other side. Going to try and see where they can get to. What sort of trouble they might be able to cause. Oracles activating. A couple drones going down. Queen's firing, Oracle's taking shots, 4 drones going down, a couple of the Oracles up the top, going to gather with Stalkers and an Adept as well. It's going to shoot away at the Overlord. Overlord's still coming about, Lings continue to come through. Stalker going to go over the left-hand side. We do have still some units going up the right as well. The Ling's still gathering up over there and thinking about what they might try and do as they move in the next little bit. Oracle's coming across. We are going to be seeing the Queen. Going to get blasted. Love this attack. If there's not enough units here to defend, I mean, these units can get a lot done. And Overlord going to go down. Obviously, this is going to be a recall out, though. As they do have to get back. Not onto the third phase, which is where the unitlings are, however. Super battery goes up maybe a moment too late there. Probe's now fighting. We don't lose many, though. In fact, I don't think we lose any at all. So, pretty okay defense from Gung Fu in the end. As Cham is only on 54 workers, and it looks like he might be sending it. A lot more lings being made. I think he's just going to go. I think Cham has had enough. Well, Gung Fu. Blink is going to be great for him here. Storm is unlikely to come online. Things here that might make this a little bit tough. I mean, if you do eventually get the Storm, then incredible, but obviously getting to that Storm is going to be rough in the first place. So we do have the Lings making their play a few moments before Blink is done. So many of these Stalkers would love to start blinking away, and they do get the Blink back now. Oracle's active overhead, and nothing to really stop them apart from just the Oracles themselves running out of energy, which they've been pretty active in the game. Have to blink back once more, using this cannon to help us out. Can we have some more Warbins? Corrosive File's going to hit the Stalkers. I don't think Gung Fu Bandit is surviving this one, guys, as Cham just looks a little bit too powerful, and that probably means we are going to the ace match. Sweet Jesus, Gung Fu. And I think we are going to the ace match here today. And Starlight Twinkle will push this the whole distance. So, we get all the way into our final game. Oh, it was Oceanborn's the ace map. Well, that's a kind of a wide open map. It's going to be a difficult one to pick, guys, in terms of who is going to come out. I don't really have a prediction, so I'm going to leave it for just a moment while we get this figured out. We're going to get this going. It's going to be our ace match coming up for this first best of 7 Team League match of the day in just a few. Austin with the 103-month resub. What a streak. Legendary. Utterly legendary. Just a little reminder, by the way, guys, we have about an hour until the Battle Aces event kicks off. I will be going to that Battle Aces event in 1 hour's time, so we will not be doing the full WTL showing today. Maybe just the first couple games out of the Liquid Weibo series. A little bit sad about that. I was kind of hoping maybe this first one would fly on by. Maybe be able to catch a little bit more of the Liquid matchup, but looks as though that's unlikely to happen. So we'll mention that we do have that Battle Aces, like I say, event coming up. SC2 Passion. Also, that you gotta cast what you get hired to cast, you know? Only so much we can do. in that regards. Do 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 do. Bada bam bam bada bam bam bada bam 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 bam. Trying to think who we might send out. I think DNS is maybe one of the better choices. Or Battlebee from Berserker. I think maybe you send Battlebee. Battlebee seems pretty well rounded as well. I think you could take on Cham, who's likely to be sent out by the Twinkle. I think he's fun against the other matchups too. You already 2-0'd Wayne. Yo, Killer Dave, thanks so much. 40 single-handedly saving battle aces, yeah. With Uncapped Games tournament sponsorship. That they actually asked Roddy to do, and Roddy just brought me in second-handedly. Yeah, something like that. Bam bada bada bum bada bum bada 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 bum bada bum. Just waiting for this ace match to be settled. Figure out what is what. Christiana DNS. Wow, we're going to go back to the first series of the day, which was 1-1. Actually, wouldn't have hated Battlebee as a pick, but I think DNS is very good all around right now, too. That's actually a pretty fun match I think we got coming up, guys. It was very fun when they started off the day. Very close. See what their matchup in the Ace brings us. As one of these teams is about to bring home the 2 points for victory. The other team will still get a point for losing in an ace match, so that is the nice part about going to aces. However, I believe even if you win in an ace match actually as Starlight Twinkle, because you are 1 point behind, you will only tie the amount of points Berserker have, and you're behind on map score already. So I actually think Berserker would still be out ahead of Starlight Twinkle when it comes to relegation, based on that. Now, obviously, there's a couple of matches still to play next week. Starlight Twinkle play offside, which which is one of the other weaker teams in the league. Berserker still have to play offside, so all these weaker teams have to play each other. The end of this is going to be pretty darn open. It's going to be quite the chase, I imagine, to try and avoid relegation. It's going to be actually some good fun, I think. Very much so. Looking forward to it. Probe, chasing Probe for a little. Gonna get across, see a little bit of what's going on. It's the Cybercores coming through as we get things underway. Well, the Depths coming about, just going to be trying to get themselves on the way through. Going to be popping, as you have those two gates set up on either side. So 2 Adepts versus Stalker Sentry. It's Cristiano on the Stalker Sentry, where DNS will now have the nice fast Stargate to play with. So into those Oracles, and that's very akin to what we saw him succeeding with in that first game that they played in the start of this series. A couple of Adepts firing up, just going to be able to get rid of that Probe. Probe will go down, getting shut down here quickly. Nice to get rid of that, clean things up a little bit. Can be seen our Adepts still moving about, our hallucination coming across as well. Adepts still moving through, going to be shading upwards in towards that main, but a battery will go down to play the block. Couple of Adepts coming up, the Oracle moving around the top side. Stalker's going to be there, and it'll turn the Oracle around pretty much immediately. 2 Adepts together, just going to go in after the battery as well. Would love to get rid of that. As we do see the little cancellation coming through. Adepts still shading up, and it's going to see our Oracle still moving across. Stalkers hold the position for a couple of moments, so you do try and deny the damage being taken. Cristiano, though, not dealing with these Adepts quickly enough, and that's 6 workers going down. Pain at these early moments. It's going to suck a little bit as our Stalkers are going to get rid of both those Oracles. They will fall as well. And Blink just coming up. We have ourselves the Probe facility and the gateway coming through. Battery coming about. Focus fine. Hallucination. Taking a few shots as well. Gonna see another assimilator just gonna drop down there. Pylon in the center continues to get set up as well. Just going to see the blink still coming through on both sides. Cristiana moving around the top, going to come scouting through, and is going to spot a little cheeky gateway coming down right now. So just going to get that gateway on the go as well. DNS As he finishes up, Blink will start a warp in Stalkers, but that's a slow warp in, and all the Stalkers of Christiana are going to be here. DNS does have Blink, so he can actually Blink on top of these Stalkers and try and fight back. He loses his warp in of Stalkers. Blink not done for Christiana for a few more moments. If DNS blinks on top now, his opponent, yeah, okay, he's going to have Blink himself. Christiana ended up blinking before DNS did in the end. Still got ourselves that Nexus building through. We continue to bring that up and online. Charge on the way through, the probes on the way out. Couple extra gateways coming in from Christiana, and the Robo facility and the Forge will be starting up as well. We continue to get that going. Our Stalkers will fight. Mortal going to get tagged, and a couple more Stalkers coming up also here. The Adepts will go after a few of those probes. Nexus goes down on the top side, getting that full face set up. Charging the Observer, continuing through. Stalkers will just get the gateway, clearing that up. Obviously, that was a nice find earlier, stopping DNS from doing too much before it really began. DNS down in supply here, hurting a little bit currently at the moment. That charge finishing on the side of Christiana. DNS bringing a few more units to get warped in as well. See Christiana moving down from an attack. That supply lead that's been there for a little while is going to come into play, as he does have. Stalker's going to blink forward. He's got the Immortals in the back. Kind of just hitting Zealots at the moment. DNS, can he survive? The Super Battery going to fade away for him. Stalker's blink up, going to go after that Archon. DNS still has a few Zealots in play, just down in army supply, and his reinforcements have already been used. It looks as though Christiana's going to have a little bit too much, and is going to bring it all the way back for the Starlight Twinkle. They're going to win 3 in a row to win this series. Great early game, shutting down the Stargate opening, putting himself advantage from that moment on, and really looking to take advantage of it. Christiana gets it done, and Starlight Twinkle will be your winners today, as they will move on through, and they will now be in a much better position. Good thumbs up. Much better position to potentially advance out or continue to stay in the World Team League, as they may be able to avoid relegation. That was a big win against one of their big competitors at that relegation area, so a big deal right there. GG's, and that is our first series wrapped up at a 4-3 scoreline. Okay, guys, a little break. Liquid against Weibo. We're probably going to just do the first couple games of this or so, depending on how long they are. Like I say, we've got the Battle Aces event coming up in about an hour's time, just less than that. So, for that though, Duddles with the 87-month resub. Appreciate it, mate. Hope you're doing great. So guys, I'm just going to be right. I'm going to grab myself a new drink and stuff, and we'll come back. More StarCraft 2 action continues here in the World Team League. Well, at least we'll do another 40 minutes or so of StarCraft, whatever we get with that. So, another 40 minutes or so of StarCraft. And like I say, a whole bunch of Battle Aces, best of 7 action that me and Roddy have got coming for you guys. Get me. Are you ready for the Chinese ads? Another couple minutes, guys, until we kick off into Liquid versus Weibo. Like I say, we're going to be here for about 40 minutes of this series-ish. Probably just the first 2 maps, unless they're very quick. So unfortunately, we won't be able to catch much more of this. Like I said, I was kind of hoping the first series might be a bit fast, but that's just the way it is. We have the Battle Aces event coming up, so me and Roddy are going to be casting that. 8 best of 7s in the Battle Aces event. Parting versus Trigger, J Money Magic versus Cuckoo, Clem versus Larimbo, Conqueror versus Bonan, Stefano versus Nidix, Nicorect versus DeWalt, Happy versus Demu, and Vibe versus Theory. 8 best of 7s, all coming up. $200 per series on the line. Powered by Uncapped Games, so that's coming up when we do finish up the StarCraft 2 in just a little bit. Well, not necessarily finish SC2. You want Battle Ace's key so bad? Go Discord, DMs dolls. I got you, bro.
开微信，搜索公众号“星际老男孩 SC Boy”， 这里有每日的直播预告、重要的赛事报道、精彩的视频剪辑、有趣的主播八卦、定期的评论。关注 SC Boy。
It's the beta is only open for a couple more days, but you can still sneak in for a day or two of games. And I mean, you have beta access for next time the beta goes up as well, I imagine. Oh, it's the intro. Here's the Team Liquid lineup. Clem, Cura, Laser, Nanaskill. It's quite the team, honestly. Hero, Yeshi, Oliveira, Sun, Xiao She is actually also a pretty good lineup. And F91, my goodness. The talent just never stops here on the Weibo team. Is Hero going to be starting off for us? Like I say, those are the two maps we'll guaranteed be able to cast unless they're both super long or something. But yeah, we're going to cast Kuvas here, then that's probably going to be it for us today, guys. Like I say, you'll have to find someone else to watch the rest of this. I'm apologizing. I don't love ditching the StarCraft, but I could have just not done the StarCraft. It's so difficult not to get things to overlap in this day and age. Everything's so busy, there's always stuff going on. Well, crazy, really, just how busy everything is. Bam bam ba dum dum dum. Kua versus Hero. Straight into it, okay? No messing around, huh? So Hero spawns in top right as the Red Protoss. Kua spawns in as our blue Terran in the bottom left. Give you an idea of how things are going to go. SCV going about chasing down this probe. Couple of refineries coming up. As the SCV will continue after our probe for just a little bit, getting a little bit more done. SCV does go and hit the probe over on this side for a few moments, and actually probe takes quite a bit of damage as we'll wait for the idea of what Q is going to do, because he is on double gas, so factory will come down early. We'll see just how aggressive he wants to be, or if he's going to pull out a gas to just make this a factory into expand. SCV nibbles. Probe will be taking some damage as well. You're in the DKZ jersey. Yeah, well, this is just obviously I guess they've not been to an event yet with their new jerseys, with their new team, so there's no updated stuff. coming around. Just going to continue to go to that upper right side. Hatchery. No hatchery, it's TVP. Command center is now dropping in onto the main base. The next is on location, and Stargate coming up as a tech choice here from Hero. So Stargate giving them a lot of options, playing very safe with the Phoenix, playing very information kind of focused with the Oracles, for example, as well. Reaper gonna fight. Probe will be going down in a moment. Factory pops out a Widow Mine. The depths will gather. Reaper continues over. Just gonna be making its way up towards the top. Again, the pylon coming through. Widow Mine still getting set up. With a little grenade coming through as we just see the Reaper coming about. There's the Cyclone still coming up, the medevac coming in. Bit of mine burrows, a couple of adepts just continue through. Again, I wouldn't mind sitting on the low ground of that ramp right there. As the Phoenix gets a little lift on the Cyclone as well. So Cyclone getting lifted up, a couple of adepts continuing through Marines. Gonna take a few more shots of damage. Cyclone is gonna get rid of the adept. Adepts move into the main base. The SCV is gonna get taken out. Mine's actually going to finish the adept up, so that's going to be the end of those. That harassment comes to a close, and overall, not bad. We have got our Phoenix up behind us. That was going to be great at lifting up some of the units here, some of the tech units, and obviously take them out of the fight if necessary, so that's already a big factor. Phoenix lifting up, and we do have one Cyclone now down. So the Phoenix already trying to fight those Cyclones over there, but we do have a push right here, and this is going to be a problem if we just target down this battery. There may genuinely be issues. Phoenix lifting up the mine so that the splash doesn't go off. We do not get rid of the battery, so now that's from Kira. A lot of DPS wasted on a battery that just doesn't go down. Well, CC setting up, our Phoenix coming down the bottom, Cyclone locks on, Phoenix get turned away. Phoenix is going to come through again, going to lift up this Cyclone immediately. Phoenix continue to get some lifts. I mean, it's just going to be nothing left here from Kira, and Hero's going to storm the front of Crimson Core for game number 1. Just like that. That all went wrong for Kira, his aggression falling apart very quickly. We'll have Kira's map pick up next. He chooses to play Post Youth, which has that in-base expand. I think this, obviously without the cameras, this is a replay series, guys, so they're able to just get straight into game number 2 of this very quickly. Game number 2. So Refinery coming up, Gateway on the way down. Gas first from Q, so maybe some more harassment focused at the start. We'll see exactly how aggressive he wants to be. He's playing in the Battle Aces show match. If you type !BA, I'll give you a link to the tweet that has the image on it. Probably coming up from Hero Cure coming about. Nexus drops on the gold base, so that's Hero playing some fun opener. Gold base start off for our Protoss player here. Fun, fun, fun. Fun, fun, fun. Reaper on the way up, Orbital in the command center continuing through. We got ourselves settled down. But yeah, with that gold, you might want to be a little bit more aggressive here actually as Cure do something about that gold base. Reaper on a scout around. Oh, that's just going to be moving through, nothing too crazy there just yet. So continue to see we might get done. And Reactor coming up, Command Center on the way, SCV's producing. In fact, we're going to get ready to play a swap over game. And just swap onto the Reactor is the choice. So the Reactor is going to be jumped onto here, and that's going to maybe give us some, well, actually going to be mines. It's going to be our starting point of trying to get some damage done. Into it. And into it. Also just need to wait to see where we end up. Starboard is going to be finishing in a couple of moments. I don't mind actually just walk across here and actually going to get a burrow. The probes to split. Now at least going to have the probes forced off the mineral line for a bit, which obviously went to gold base a bit more impactful than usual, but only 2 probes for those 2 mines. Action in the main base. Reaper just dancing around there, nothing too crazy. Grenade comes in again, a bit more damage being dealt. Continue to try and put some shots out here. Doing what we can. Just for the moment. Out of mines, once again showing up, just going to get a couple of probes. Hits the Phoenix as well, which is going to get it low, but it will not go down. Mine's going to try and play the evacuation game. We do have the medevac, so we might be able to more realistically evacuate some.